Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and it's Women's History Month, and I'm here today to talk to you about Jack of All Trades, Season 1, Episode 9, Croque for a Day. So, this show came back out in 2000, and it's Bruce Campbell's other television show. After Hercules and Xena wrapped, Sam Raimi and Robert Tappert decided to make like two other shows with a bunch of recurring characters from that of Hercules and Xena. And Bruce Campbell and Angela Dodson, they became part of a duo for the show Jack of All Trades because those two were, well, their characters were Mary and Hercules. And then, because he played Autolycus and she played his wife, but then she also played a wife to another man in Xena, while Bruce Campbell was also in that episode. They always recycle characters and stuff. And she was also in Young Hercules. And these two have like amazing chemistry and stuff. And it's sad that a lot of people probably have never even heard of this show or ever seen it. It's on DVD. I'm not sure if it's out of print yet, but it is on YouTube on their official channel for like their TV channel and stuff. I don't know if it's on streaming or not. I don't believe. But this was like a hilarious show. It was a comedy action show. What basically was a Zorro ripoff. I briefly talked about it about 2 years ago and stuff. One day I am gonna fully talk about it because this was always a fun show to watch. Like I just always had a good time watching it. But it was only 20 minutes long and it lasted for 2 seasons, and the second season was really short. I think there's only like a total of 22 episodes or something like that. And so with this, so Bruce plays Jack Stiles and he's an American spy. It's 1801 and the Revolutionary War has been won and everything. It basically says it in the intro. And so he's been sent to Palau, a fake place that the French are occupying. I gotta give it up. One thing I really appreciate about this show is that the French characters in this show, even though these people are not French, they pull off a fake French accent. I am so appreciative of that because I get so tired of seeing like shows that have to do like historical shows that do with French people and they sound British. That gets on my nerves. So their accents might not be perfect, but at least they tried. And so he dons a costume very similar to Zorro called the Daring Dragoon. It's like a folklore legend in France, not in real life, but on this show. And he's partnered with Amelia Rothschild, played by Angela Dodson. Man, she has disappeared. Nobody has seen or heard from her in like over a decade and a half, or maybe, around like 15 years, nobody has heard from her. She just like disappeared and everything, which is really sad because she was a really good actress and these two have great chemistry. And she is the brains of the operation. She's British. Well, she pretends to be a British person, but she's really from New Zealand in real life. But the actress plays like a British lady who lives on Palau, and she tries to disrupt like all the stuff that the French are doing. And she also has export trades and stuff. And those two work together. Basically, she is like very straight-laced. She's by the book. She's very uptight, and he's more like free-spirited, footloose, a womanizer, and just likes to have a good old time. So they always clash. And one thing they used to clash about is that he would dress up and, as a Daring Dragoon. And she used to originally hate that and everything because she said it's going to draw too much attention to them. But he proves that it's effective to help the people of Palau fight the corrupt French people and stuff. So it's interesting because when it comes to this episode, see, she's never done hand-to-hand combat. She just like creates stuff, invents stuff like sleeping potions, elastic rope, bombs. It's very camp and cheek, this show is. Tongue-in-cheek, very campy. It's Bruce Campbell. Come on now. There are so many one-liners show. And so, like, she's never done hand-to-hand combat, and whenever she does accompany him on the field, which she rarely does, she wears an all-black outfit and like a black scarf around her head. And so in this episode is interesting because she actually gets to be the Daring Dragoon for like a day, as he gets to play Emperor Kronk and everything. And it's interesting because like she complains so much that she's tired of his one-liners, she's tired of him acting like a fool, she's tired of him dressing up. But then here she is doing the same thing for like a really good cause. And then she starts to act like him, which kind of annoys him because he's all like, that's annoying and I don't sound like that. So it's cool to see that, like, you know, flipping of the script and stuff. So one day, Amelia and Jack are out by the docks and they can see a group of women dressed like the Daring Dragoon. And they're basically his fan club. And they're just writing stuff on one of the French boats, just like insulting them because they hate the French because they're being oppressed and everything. I'm not sure what the race of the people of Palau are intended to be, because I can't tell, because you always see people of different races on this show and stuff. Mostly it's people with dark skin. I have no idea. And so like Jack is thrilled by this. He's like, look at my fan club, and they sticking it to the man and everything. And Amelia is just kind of like, you know, these women will get arrested and killed if they are caught. And he thinks she's being too uptight until guards show up. And they dare to arrest the women. So he sneaks out and he dons his disguise and he beats up on the guards with his sword and a paintbrush of all things. This was in 2000. They was coming off the skirts of the 90s with all that, like, you know, cheesiness and stuff. So yeah, anyways. And of course, as he's fighting, he's shooting off quips and one-liners and stuff like that. And so he rescues the ladies. And then, like, him and Amelia, they go back to their hiding spot. And she tells them, like, look, man, this was good at first. But, you know, you wearing that costume is drawing too much attention. And now you have a fan club and people are going to get hurt. And you can't be at two places at one time. And, you know, and it's time for you just, like, to get rid of it, you know. Anyway, John Pierre, who's a little parrot, which I don't know if this thing is real or a puppet. I think it's a puppet, but then again, sometimes it looks pretty real. He tells them that, like, an inspector is coming from France to see if the emperor is doing a good job. Amelia's worried, but Jack is not, because Jack is so laid back. Amelia's worried because she's all like, if the emperor fails, then, like, you know, somebody else is going to replace him. And Jack thinks that great, but she tells him it could be somebody who's not a buffoon. Because see, Emperor Kronk is a buffoon and everything. And so that's somebody they can, like, you know, run like circles around, but somebody else they can't. So she's trying to figure out a way to, you know, get through this. And she realizes that she sent the real Kronk and Brigard on like a wild goose chase of, like, what is it, diamonds in the West Indies or something like that. And she has Jack dress up as Kronk, which is of course why the episode is called Kronk for a Day. And Bruce looks so weird in that little powdered wig and those fancy clothes and stuff like that. So the inspector, whose name is Ribbit, he is very, very arrogant, very mean, very rude, and very demanding. And so Jack doesn't think this is going to work because of the simple fact, you know, what if, like, you know, the guards or, like, you know, the help, like, recognize that he's not the real guy. But only, like, I guess, like, not the main servants are there, but, like, the other ones, so they don't really know what he looks like. So they're all like, look, man, all you got to do is avoid the inspector and not sign anything. But in comes the inspector, is all like, sign this and sign it now. And so it's working for a good while. And Jack is just buffoonery himself through this and everything. Until once again, those three ladies show up dressed as the Dragoon. And they throwing food at the inspector and all this other crap. And so like um something happens where they are able to escape. And the inspector is not pleased. He doesn't like the idea of these vigilantes running around making a fool out of France. And so Amelia, she talks to these ladies and tells them what they're doing is wrong and they need to stop. But they just think that, since she's this rich, like British woman, that she can put food in her belly, but they can't. And they're tired of the French and everything. So at some point in time, the ladies end up getting arrested. And so Jack is all like, Amelia wants him to dress up as the dragoon and beat up like the guards and beat up the inspector and like free the women. But he's all like, no, I have power and I'm going to use the power of like the law to help me and everything. So he starts getting out the law book and he starts reading it, which is very surprising because he's not the type to do that. He's the type that jumps in and just beats people up. And she's getting pissed about this because she's all like, look, I've been wanting this side of you for the longest time, but now we need good old fashioned like fisticuffs and everything. But he's adamant about doing everything by the book. So when the ladies are about to be executed, he's trying to stall the best way he can by like dishing out some rules of law, and the inspector's all like, I got the law to fire you and put somebody else in charge to put myself in charge. So he pretends to be sick and he's about to like put on his dragoon outfit until all of a sudden Amelia shows up dressed like him in a female version of like the dragoon outfit, which takes him by complete surprise. And she has like, a sword and she uses a crossbow, which he never uses a crossbow. And she's actually whooping on the guards. And not only that, but now she's shooting out one-liners and quips, which is something he does, and he's all like, I would never say nothing stupid like that. And it's cool to see him like just get irritated by stuff he would normally say, but say it by like another person. Now, the only problem I have with this is that when did she ever learn how to fight? She has never been in hand-to-hand combat at all. And yet she's flipping around, she's punching, she's kicking, and she's using the sword, which is something she never does. So I do hate that part is rushed and everything. And as soon as she frees the girls and somebody comes up behind her, the inspector, and is about to stab her, this is when Jack uses the law book, tosses it in the air, and knocks the inspector out. And so basically she saves the day, which is really cool and really cool to see her in her outfit. Then of course, the inspector leaves. He gives Croque a raving review and the real one shows back up. And so like Jack and Amelia just pretty much just like, tussle and joke around at the end of the episode. Sadly, however, she never dons this outfit again, and it would have been cool to see him have like a partner that dresses up similar to him, like Batman and Batgirl. But sadly, that just never happened. She went back to just inventing stuff and putting on that black outfit, occasionally helping him out in the field. Now, as fun as this episode was, I think it came out way too early. It's only the 9th episode. This is something that should have been much, much later in the season or in the next season. By the next season, things just get a bit more wackier, let's just say that. Which is probably one of the reasons, well, actually, I don't know the real reason why this show got canceled because it's never been stated. Because this used to come on back to back with Cleopatra 2525, and both series, once again, had Hercules and Xena recurring characters, and both shows only lasted for 2 seasons. So maybe that's only what they was contracted for. Maybe they had low ratings, who knows. Unlike Hercules and Xena, this was a comedy action show. So there was no real drama. There was only like a smidge of drama in the show. But it is really fun and it's really cool. And of course, if you love these 2 stars, just like check it out on YouTube. Happy Women's History Month, everybody. All right, well, I'll talk to you later. Bye.